Dr. Hargens, Board Chair David Jones Jr., and members of the Jefferson County Board of Education. We begin with the recognition of the Mazik Middle School student team of Mark Raj, Anjali Chada, Aditya Mehta, Jacob Off, and Allison Tu, who were selected as a Best in Nation winner in the National Verizon Innovation App Challenge. The competition provides an opportunity for middle and high school students to apply their science, technology, engineering, and math knowledge, skills, and creativity to develop an original mobile app concept that incorporates the use of STEM and addresses a need or problem in their school or community. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Chris Berber, principal, to come forward to make some brief remarks about these outstanding students.
Good evening, Dr. Hargens, Board Chair, Mr. Jones, District 1 Representative, Ms. Porter, and members of the Board of Education. Thank you for the opportunity to join you tonight as you recognize these 5 outstanding Mazik students and leaders. I couldn't be more proud of the young people who will be joining you on the stage momentarily as national winners in the Verizon Innovative App Challenge. I'm sure many in our community have been stunned that 8th graders, one of whom is only 12 years old, and only one of whom has reached the wise old age of 14, from Louisville, Kentucky, have achieved such national success on the national stage. But to those of us who know these young people, an achievement like this is no surprise. This group of students excels in the classroom, all maintaining a 4.0 grade point average, which includes an accelerated math class combining Algebra 2 and geometry concepts, as well as countless hours in after-school activities. Members of various academic teams such as Math Counts, Science Olympiad, and Quick Recall and Written Assessment. Clearly, these students are passionate about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Tonight, while we celebrate these 5 individuals, I would love for all of you to know that at Mazik Middle School, our halls are bursting with students who share these same passions. At the school where the world comes to learn, we see every day the power of innovative thinking coupled with good old-fashioned hard work and determination. Have faith that this generation of blossoming scientists, programmers, engineers, and mathematicians are preparing to set the world on fire, much like their peers representing our school tonight. Now, we know that successful schools run on lots of engines, and all of those engines have to be working at full capacity and firing in tune with one another. I would like to recognize and thank the power behind our innovative thinkers, teachers, and parents who combined efforts to make sure students came back after our Best in State win last year to take Best in Nation this year. I'd like to express my gratitude to Mr. Tim Baker for his teacher leadership and constant willingness to step up the plate to support our school. Mr. Baker is one of those teachers who comes with the building. If the doors are open, he's there. And to parent Ms. Vidya Ravichandran, thank you for being our eyes and ears in the field, always looking for ways to support and enrich our entire student body. Ms. Ravichandran is so busy contributing to our school, I'm convinced that she doesn't sleep. There must be an app for that, and I want it. It is a joy to have such successful young people among the student body at Mazik. That joy will continue as we marvel in the successes that are sure to follow them. The faculty and staff at Mazik, and I know the entire JCPS community, will be proud to call each of them one of our own for years to come. I would like to ask them to join me on the stage at this time for a picture.
Next, we have the honor of introducing to you our distinguished middle and high school principals in District 1 who will highlight and introduce an exemplary student in their school. First, I'd like to introduce to you Jennifer Cave, principal at No Middle School. Please come forward to introduce your student.
It is my honor to introduce to you Alicia Leech from No Middle School. This distinguished 8th grader excels academically. She is driven, creative, well-organized, and self-motivated. Through her peer leadership, she tutors, mentors, and provides mediation to our fellow students. Please join me in recognizing Alicia Leech.
Next, I would like to introduce to you Tim Healy, principal at Brown School, to introduce his middle school student.
It's a pleasure for me this evening to introduce to you Kelsey Broyles, an 8th grade student at the Brown School. Kelsey, like the Brown School, many Brown School students came to us at an early age. She came to us in kindergarten, and then she left us for 1 year in 3rd grade, but we didn't hold that against her. She saw the errors of her way, and she came back in 4th grade. And we've had her ever since. Kelsey is an advanced program student in our school. She excels academically, athletically, and artistically. She carries a 4.0 GPA and takes a double block of math at Brown in 8th grade, taking accelerated math and Algebra 1 as well. She's a published author. It was published in the Poet Power Fall Edition 2014. She's been featured in the Courier Journal Q Up column. She is a member of our varsity high school softball team, and she has a passion for visual art as well. She was a Scholastic's Gold Key winner this year with her mixed media entry just in the 8th grade. So it's a pleasure at this time for me to introduce Kelsey Broyles.
Next, Beverly Johnson, principal at Johnson Traditional Middle School.
Good evening. I have the distinct privilege and honor to introduce to you Cameron Krenzel. Cameron is an outstanding student at Lyman T. Johnson Traditional Middle School. He's attended there for the past 3 years. I remember on one occasion I happened to be in a math class doing an observation, and I saw a twinkle in a student's eyes, and it was Cameron. He did an outstanding job explaining, using the manipulatives, and really teaching other students there in the classroom. And from that point on, I've always made eye contact with him in the hallways. He's always pleasant, friendly. He's extremely well-rounded. He's successful in the classroom, on the basketball court, and just a very well-rounded student. Cameron shared with me recently that he plans to attend Manual High School. He says, if I don't go to Manual, I would like to go to either Male or Butler. His parents are strong supporters at Johnson. They're at our events, they're involved, and it has been indeed a pleasure to work with Cameron this past 3 years. Congratulations, Cameron.
Kim Rice, principal at Western Middle School for the Arts. Please come forward to introduce your student.
Good evening. I have the distinct honor of introducing May Alice Harrell, who is an 8th grade student at Western Middle School. She has attended all 8 years as a vocal major, and if we had time, I would ask her to sing, but we don't have time. She is actually traveling tomorrow to attend the American Choral Directors Association National Conference in Salt Lake City, Utah, along with several other students, and this is her 2nd time going while she's been a student at Western Middle School. Among this, she has many other achievements. She's received distinguished honors at Solo and Ensemble Festival for the past 2 years, and we know she will receive some more distinguished this year. She has been in many of our school-wide musicals. Most recently, she portrayed Grace Farrell in Annie. She is a member of the AP and Beta Club. She also has been accepted at Youth Performing Arts School. She has many academic honors. She has a very supportive family, but most of all, she's one of my favorite students, and I just love her. Thank you.
Now, Dr. Houston Barber, principal at the Academy at Shawnee, will introduce his middle and his high school student. Dr. Barber.
I have the distinct pleasure of introducing 2 students this evening as a middle school and high school principal. From the middle school, it's Malia Spalding, and she is such an outstanding young woman. She enjoys reading, writing, math, but of course, one of the things she's accelerating is in AP classes. And as we build our aerospace program, she's a part of that building that's going on. So it is my distinct pleasure to really tell you that this student is going to be sometime, I hope to see her up in space. If not, she'll be working in the STEM field. So Malia Spalding, congratulations. Also, I have one other student, Payton Adelman. One of the things I want to share with you about him, he is looking to go to the Naval Academy, and he is working on his pilot's license, and so I hope to fly with him one day. I've been in a plane once with a student. I may do it again, but I will tell you his leadership at both as a peer leader and as a mentor for our students. His AP work and program work that he does there is accelerating, and just proud of him, Payton Adelman. So congratulations. Thank you.
I would like to ask at this time that Tim Healy, principal, if you will please come to the podium to introduce your high school student.
It's a pleasure for me to introduce our high school student that I'd like to introduce to you this evening. Is a junior by the name of Stanford Loudon. Stanford came to us in the 6th grade and went through our middle school program, arrived as a typical 6th grade young man, that you might say, with a lot of potential, but in 6th grade you wonder just exactly how it's going to work out. And over the years, he has just gotten stronger and stronger and stronger as a leader and as a student, as a scholar, academic scholar, and an athlete. He currently carries a 3.9 GPA cumulative average, and last semester he averaged a 4.5. He's enrolled in AP Statistics, AP European History, Advanced Pre-Cal, as a starter on the basketball team. And he's also a published author as well. He was published in the Poet Power Fall edition as well, and was a SPAVA Award winner when he was in middle school. So it's a pleasure for me to introduce you, Stanford Loudon.
Mr. Jerry Mays, principal at DuPont Manual High School, will you please come forward to introduce your high school student?
Thank you, Terry, and thank you, members of the board. It is indeed a pleasure when you have a school of 1,883 outstanding students to find a great one. And this young man certainly fits that bill. His name is Alexander Krenzel. This young man's outstanding. And I want to read a couple things that his counselor said, which really kind of fits all of it. So the first time I met him, I kept thinking there was no other student I knew that could possibly radiate more energy, enthusiasm for learning than this young man. I'll tell you just a little bit about this, a couple things real quickly. He came to us from a school that wasn't as rigorous as Manual, and within a few short months, and I don't know what this says about our curriculum, maybe we're not tough enough, I don't know what the deal is, but in 10 months, he finished years of computer science to get up to speed at Manual High School. Plays varsity soccer, he's a tennis player, he's a concert master violinist, and I know Miss Horn loves the arts, you'd love that, okay? He leads our ensemble. I had to jot down just a couple things, there's so many things, if you'll just bear with me real quickly. He is right now is in collaboration with another developer to do a healthcare application for an Android phone called Personal Medicine Plus. He has been flown to California by Google to use one of his apps on the International Space Station to assist in launch. I told Mr. Jones before tonight and Mr. Brady, I said, I got a guy for you two techies right away. Then they had Drew be your guy, Alexander be your guy. Right now, he's one of 60 students being courted in the country with an all-expense-paid trip to UC Berkeley for he and his family. He'll be going in, 2 weeks or a week? Next weekend. I mean, the list could go on and on. He is our concertmaster for YPass Philharmonic. He's a National Merit finalist. He's been awarded 2 Silver Keys. But the greatest thing about this and in all those accomplishments, all that pales to the character and the humility of this young man. And you'll not find a better one. I was telling somebody in the back, I have 4 adoptive daughters. If I were ever to adopt a son, this would be the guy, Alexander Krenzel.
We are so proud to now present the Performing Arts Schools and Magnet Programs in District 1 in a video montage. Tonight, we are so proud to have the opportunity to recognize February as Black History Month. The 2015 national theme is A Century of Black Life, History, and Culture, which highlights the great contributions made by African Americans in the making of American history. It also stresses the importance of African American struggles in striving for equality, opportunity, and racial democracy throughout our nation's history, as well as their role in making significant change in the lives of African Americans in the past, present, and future. Thank you. Joining us this evening is Ms. Dawn Lee, CEO for the WHAS Crusade for Children, who will present the Jefferson County Public School with a very generous grant. Since 1970, the district has received more than $9 million in grants from WHAS Crusade for Children, which have resulted in many incredible benefits to thousands of JCPS students with disabilities. Ms. Lee, will you please come forward to give your remarks?
Thank you. I am Dawn Lee with the WHAS Crusade for Children, and we are so proud of our long partnership with JCPS. And I feel somewhat inadequate standing here before you tonight because when it comes to the kids at Central High School, I can't answer any questions about your health or your blood pressure or your teeth. If you have legal questions, I'm out. Your business, even your pet. But what it did for me was serve as such a wonderful reminder that all the kids that were recognized and the ones that spoke, that JCPS is doing something right. So what a terrific partner to have. So thank you for what you're doing. We love to work with children who learn differently. And so this is our opportunity to continue that history. And tonight we want to officially present the check to the board for this school year, and it's in the amount, this year's grant was $181,692.32.
Ms. Lee and Mr. Larry Lefford, please come forward. If you'll join Dr. Hargens, Board Chair David Jones Jr., and district staff, Dr. Dewey Hensley, Dr. Michael Razor, Dr. Alicia Everett, Rick Capel, Becky Crump, and Terry Ray on the stage for this presentation. This concludes our recognitions for this evening. Thank you.